What's up everybody? Welcome back to SV's Auto. Today we're going to go back where we started. We're going to attack this pillar here in the quarter panel and see if we can make something of it. So come check it out. Alright, so I think we're going to start by finishing removing the outer quarter panel from the inner quarter panel that we started with this project. And then we're going to clean this up. There's a little bit of it left here that needs to come off as well. Check out some of this rust, see how bad that is. And then somebody before, when they were trying to patch this outer skin before, they cut a hole in that pillar. So we're gonna dig into that and see what it'll take to get that cleaned up and patched up and solid again. We're gonna try to make something fit in there. You know, all the pore 15 is cured and ready to go. I did fabricate this little guy here, which fits. We can get some light work for us. Fits this area nicely. So what I'm going to do is show you how I did this on the other side. I do have a little bit more prep to take care of. I need to get this squared up a bit there, and that's kind of ugly there, so I'll probably cut it back so it's a little bit more square on this side. So then I'm going to put another one of these approximately like so, and then I'm going to make a piece to run down the front of it and come down here. So I do need to remove a little bit of the pore 15 that I put back here for good weld points, clean this up, clean that area up, and see if we can get that pillar repaired at least enough for what it needs to be. It's not going to be seen. I just want some structure back in there again, you know, rigidity and all those things. Okay, so I'm going to take some cardboard here and I'm going to use it to make myself a template. On this side you can see that's kind of how I did this side. This side is pretty much the same shape, except for it does jog back a little bit more because I'm making this a little different than it would have been to begin with. So this one, you can see fits in there pretty decently. Now if I bring it over to this side, they are almost identical, except for it does jog down here, right at this mark that I've already made. Right here, and then connects to that piece. So it needs to come back slightly. So, something like that. I'm going to cut this cardboard out, and then I'm going to trace it onto, well, I'm going to see how well it fits in here, and then trace it onto metal, and then we'll cut the metal out. So, basic shape here, and that actually is looking pretty decent. But I do need to cut, looks like that needs to come back because this is going to stick out way too far on this side. So I'm going to trim a little bit off the back. See if I can get this to make sense to me here. So if this guy goes in something like that, and I need the same basic shape on this side. So I am way too far out here. So if I do something along those lines, I think it is going to be a little bit closer. So I'm going to trim this down a little bit more and see if that gets us any closer to what we're looking for. Alright, so I think we're getting a little closer. We still need to come in a bit. I don't want this sticking out too far and then causing me issues later with fitment for trying to get my outer skin on, because there's another layer that has to go on this thing. So I'm going to bring it in just a little bit more, trim off a bit more here and see what that gets us. So that looks pretty close. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to transfer this over to metal, cut it out, and then we can start trimming our metal down to hopefully make this work. Alright, so I'm just using some 20 gauge cold rolled steel here that I picked up locally, kind of locally for me. Everything's not local where I'm at. Anyway, I'm going to trace this here. Give us a good starting point, and then we can fine tune from there. Okay, so you can see I already notched this one. It fits pretty darn where I want it. So this one, now we need to make sure is going to line up where we want it as well. So I think we're a little deep this way, and then obviously we're too long down here, but I'm going to take that off of, I'm going to take this notch out, and I'm going to shorten the top and kind of leave this angle here. It matches pretty close to this one. Alright, let's see what we can do here. See, I'm going to measure across the top here 1 inch. Mark down here 1 inch so we get somewhat. I don't know how crucial any of this really is with it being behind everything, other than kind of like it to be, well, not horrible. So the two side pieces are in place now. Need to clean up the welds a little bit. I will put my piece on the front with a little tab that comes down, sandwiches between here and the outer skin. And then I need to build a little bit of this back here and that piece that I took out. So a couple things to build, but much more solid than it was. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to measure this length and then cut it this width. I will bend it down as I go, I guess. I'm not really sure the best way to go about it, but I'm going to do 1 inch by, I'm going to start at 7 inches. 1 inch by 7, so I'm going to go cut a 1 inch by 7 inch strip out of that sheet metal, bring it over here, trim what we need to, and then I'm going to try to tack it down and form it as we go. I'm not sure if that's the best way, but that's how I'm going to do it. So here we go. So that's looking pretty good there. I'm going to trim it just a little bit here and there to get it to fit. I would like it to fit close as possible as inside of that. And then I'm going to need to bend this in a little bit. And then I need to flare it there. There is where that needs to happen. Let's stick it in this guy. And bend it outward. So I'm too long, which is fine. Trim off about 1/8 of an inch there. We're gonna bend that in a little bit more at the bottom. Let's see if we're getting close here. Getting closer. So that's kind of what the bottom I want to look like. So I'm gonna kind of go my way back up to give me the shape I need and give me a reference. It looks like right about yeah. Right about yeah. So let's give that a little trim and see if we're close here. So I'd say that's pretty darn close to what I'm looking for. I might have to hammer a little bit as I go, try to get this to fit the way I would like it to. We'll see here. I don't know. This is probably not how you do this, but that's how I'm doing it. And you know, if it's structural, that's what matters. As far as this component, you know, once we get to the skin and that, we definitely need to adjust some of what we're doing here so that we get a much better looking weld and all of that. Right now I'm just trying to sort of make myself a new pillar here, hoping that I can put some structure back into this side. So it's looking pretty good. I think I'm going to go with that. I'm going to throw some tacks in here and there, see if I need to shape anything any further. Yeah, so welding time again. Okay, so all ground down, looks pretty decent, I think. Before I prime that up, I'm going to make this little area right here, weld that in, and then I think we're done with this spot. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and wipe down the area, clean it off, get it ready to prime, and then I think we're done in here. So we can move on to somewhere else. I don't know. We'll move on to somewhere else. So I'm just using a self-etching primer. Try to protect this metal. Well, as always, thanks for watching, and make sure you hit the like button, subscribe down below. Share this video with anybody if you think they might be interested. We're trying to get our subscriber count up, and if you guys can help me out, that would be amazing. So I think we are done today. Next time we're just gonna, I don't know, find somewhere else to do some body work. So make sure you come check it out.